Welcome to the podcast from the St. Louis Sportists, an occasionally smart, always irreverent look at sports in St. Louis and beyond. And now, your St. Louis Sportists.
Hello and welcome to the podcast from the St. Louis Sportists. My name is Ron Cook and I am joined by Joe Sperlin.
Good to be back and see everyone here tonight.
Doug Lansdowne.
Yep, happy we can all be together this evening.
Tom Mathis.
Great to be back with the full crew.
And in the spirit of the 68 comeback special from Elvis, Keith Farrell in the building.
All right, good to be back, all. Been a busy spring, so good to be back.
He's back at it. And in this edition, the Cardinals are approaching the halfway point in the season, and they're very much in the playoff picture. The Blues make a blockbuster trade. Are there more to come? Can you just cancel a draft? Well, you can if you're the National Football League. The World Cup rolls on, and another non-shining major moment for New York golf. The St. Louis Sportists are brought to you by First Coast Steel Buildings. Jason and his team will take your project from design to completion with a family-first approach. You can learn more at stcoaststeel.com, and we'll hear more from them and Sandra Templeoff later in the show. And tonight's last call is brought to you by Black Dog Consulting, LLC, here to help the one-truck owner and the small fleet owner to grow and prosper. Contact Dave at 417-217-9622. Black Dog Consulting, helping you retrieve bigger profits. We are on all the socials. Hopefully you know that by now. X, Facebook, the Gram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and you can watch us. We're finding that people like to watch us for some reason, Keith. I don't know. I guess we're a visual medium. I agree. It makes no sense. They want to see the cocktail of the evening, probably. It's on YouTube at stlsportists.com. Tom's doing Pepsi. There you. That's Tom will be lucid. Let's lead it off with quick hits, Joe Sperlin. What do you got?
I feel like I need to be Nick Saban and have my drink right here and put it right here when I'm talking. Ron, I don't think we had this, but the 5 for 5 was passed by the NCAA. It starts where you get the 5 years, no more red shirts, no more injuries, no more starts on your enrollment, or there's a little bit of confusion on this. The semester, I think, is after your 19th birthday. So for those that are getting held back, when you turn 19, then it starts that semester. So,
okay.
Now, the only things were if you're in active military service, religious missions, or pregnancy. Now, I'm assuming that is for the females, not any of the guys that,
Don't make assumptions.
That's true.
Don't assume.
Well, this is my 4th baby mama. So anyways, you should probably delete that. But anyway.
Yeah. So does that mean BYU can still have guys that are 27 out there?
I believe that is correct.
Okay.
The military guys, any active service would also work. It is flexible for next year's, this incoming. So they can say, this is my last year, or I can continue with what I have. But the fall of 27, it's the 5. Now, as I said, for all of you kids out there, go to law school, because here's where the lawsuits are coming in. The people who just their eligibility ran out.
Yep.
And it's the ones that had 4 years. They didn't get a 5th year. That's where the lawsuits are coming, including Phillips from Mizzou is one of them. Would that be right? Sean Phillips? He is one of the many. As they said, and there was, I think they said there was 15 waiting, and the list jumped to 50 after they announced it. So there are, once again, lawsuits pending on this.
Well, folks, I'm just going to tell you, we're going to hear more about lawsuits later in the episode.
Yeah.
Phillips doesn't have a team, so he's got to find a team and then get that extra year. I guess LSU and Will Wade can always call him.
I was just getting ready to say LSU.
And I also wonder if they waited this long to kind of say, oops, sorry, there's really no one going to take you. But if you're good enough, they're going to find a spot for you, especially the basketballers.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Douglas, what do you have?
On this date in 1979, one of our dear favorites made his major league debut. Ricky Henderson made his debut June 24th, 1979. We've noted him frequently on this show, so wanted to
let me guess he walked in his first game.
and stole a base, probably. Yeah. So
and
just want to
didn't cash his game check.
That's right.
He did not.
Just want to get that in quickly. We always pay homage to Ricky when we can. So
always. It's a good day when you can bring up Ricky Henderson.
Hey, and don't forget what's coming up July 1.
Oh, Bobby Bow Day.
Yeah, there you go.
Bobby Bow Day.
How much longer we got to do that?
Oh, I want to say it past 2030, right, Joe?
Yeah.
Like 2032 or something?
Yeah, 33, maybe 32, but yeah. Doug, that's a good one. Oh, Ricky.
Yep.
Oh, yes. Tom Mathis, what's up?
So the Cardinals made some changes today to the upper management. Bill DeWitt Jr. Is now the chairman. His son, Bill DeWitt III, is the CEO. And just going to say Anook is the new president of business operations. He's the equal to Chaim Bloom on the baseball side. So you have Chaim on baseball and Anook on business. So the one thing I want to say is Bill DeWitt Jr., he was a very good owner for the Cardinals. He took over after the brewery lost interest, and him and the group that he was associated with, they did a great job. You know, they did some stuff with Busch Stadium that made it fun to go to again. You know, they really made great improvements to it. And then, of course, the Busch Stadium 3 is incredible. But the run that the team had with him, it was just, I mean, baseball became fun again under him.
Yeah.
And so we owe the thanks to BDJ. So thank you very much.
100%. Tom, sometime I'll have to tell you about the time I sat next to Bill DeWitt Jr. on a flight back from Vegas.
Oh,
but that's a story for another time.
Please do.
Yeah.
That's for you premium St. Louis Sportis subscribers.
That's exactly right. Yeah. That's for the platinum members.
Yeah.
So Keith Farrell, welcome back.
Oh, shoot. How about
Hey.
that?
Hey.
Well, it's been an exciting last couple of months to say the least, but probably one of the least exciting things, which was actually exciting for me, was watching the slow death of Nolan Gorman. And good freaking riddance. So that probably came at the hands of Blaze Jordan. I did a little bit of math. Blaze Jordan through 11 games has only 9 RBIs, projects to 45 RBIs over about a 60-game stretch. Nolan Gorman's 62-game stretch, he had 26.
Ooh.
Okay. So Gorman goes down, gets demoted, not to Memphis, but to the spring training facility.
The hitting lab.
Work on his swing. And, well, can the Cardinals' new ownership just take over and just let this guy go? I mean, I'm tired of it. What do you think?
Well, they've done good things with the hitting lab before, you know, but the thing is, if Jordan, you know, it's a little early to make the Willie McGee comparison, Doug and Tom, but, you know, Blaze Jordan is playing like he's been there a while, and I don't really see, I don't have a strong desire to say, wow, this team really needs Nolan Gorman back at third, you know?
Well, neither do the people in the third row that he keeps trying to hit from third base. Because Aaron throws there. So.
It's true. That's true. I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, that's true. For mine, the good folks at The Athletic did a survey. By the way, Tom, did you notice who wrote the story in The Athletic today on the change for the Cardinals?
I did not.
Katie Wu.
Oh,
I'm sure she loved getting that call. Oh, by the way, in addition to covering the Dodgers, can you cover the Cardinals too?
Yeah. I'm sure she loved that.
Yeah. So they did a survey of 101 anonymous MLB players and 8,500 fans And the overwhelming majority of both indicate that they are getting ready for a lockout in the 2027 season. 77%. Hey, Joe, that's almost 4 out of 5.
It is.
Said that they believe that the MLB will miss games in 2027 as a result of a lockout. 21.8 said that missing games would turn them away from the MLB for a significant amount of time. 33%. Hey, Joe, I think that's a third.
Yep.
Said it would
it tonight.
Boom. Said it would depend on how many games are canceled and of the players. 80 expected a lockout, 19 not sure, and 2 said they did not expect a lockout to occur. 2 said they did not expect a lockout to occur. But the good news is right now we have baseball to watch. Looks like we have a Fermin on second base in the second inning here against the Diamondbacks. The St. Louis Cardinals sit at 42-35, 7 games over 500, 5-5 in their last 10, in second place. 6 behind Milwaukee, a game and a half ahead of the Cubs, tied with the Phillies for number 1 in the wild card spot. We're almost halfway through the season, Keith. What do you think?
I think it's a fun team to watch. Anytime you can have an unexpected, result like they've been putting together this year, that's bringing some fans to the stadium. I know I've been down more than I thought I was going to.
Uh-huh.
And let's face it, these young guys are running hard down to first base. They're taking guys out at second base. They're running hard to third base. And we're seeing some people hit some home runs. So
yeah,
it's a fun team to watch. And that's all I want to see is fun baseball.
Yeah. Hey, Doug, last time we talked, we said that, the hitters were, the lineup had been lengthened. And man, if you look at like what Church is doing and, Crooks is coming around and Jordan down there, this is suddenly a salty lineup.
Yeah, there's the top 4 or 5 have strung the bats together all year, but yeah, they're getting support down in the bottom, and like we've talked about multiple times, and Keith just said, they're just fun to watch. They are fun to watch, and Leahy probably threw his best game last night. Before that, Palante probably had his best start of the year. I know we're going to talk buy, sell, what do you do here a little bit and everything. Like I just let them play. I just play with what you got and let them play out.
Yeah. So Tom, we come to the bad news for you. The hitting is going great, but man, that was a rough weekend for starters in Kansas City of all places.
Yeah, I mean, Kansas City hadn't really hit all year, and go in there and had a really rough game. I don't know if it's becoming a home and away thing, because the weekend before in Minnesota, they didn't pitch very well. They come home, they had two really good starts and a decent start. Mm-hmm. Go back to Kansas City, and they have 3 bad ones. So hopefully it's just a coincidence, but those games were really, really bad in Kansas City. 30 runs in 3 days. Well, 3 games, 4 days.
Yeah. Yeah, and who would have thought that Kauffman Stadium was a pitcher's park with the ball flying out left and right like crazy?
Yeah, I had the money line on the Cardinals. I think it was Saturday or Sunday. Which game did they score like 13?
That was Sunday.
Yeah, so I had the money line. They had a 5-run lead. Seemed like the entire game, and here I'm sweating bullets in the 9th inning.
Yeah, well, we'll get to Riley O'Brien in a minute, but yeah. Hey, Joe, this J.J. Weatherholt cat is like starting to look like a runaway like rookie of the year dude. He's not bad at all.
He's doing all right, and they were comparing him to Pujols on his WAR and all those things here recently. I saw that. I think he's went above and beyond what some people expected. I think one of you said possible rookie of the year.
I said second.
It. Yeah.
I was drinking the Connor Griffin Kool-Aid.
As I'm sure as the mid-season polls will come out, when they do the who's the MVP and all that stuff, he would probably be the rookie of the year right now.
Yeah. So Keith, you're the noted Matthew Liberatore defender.
Yeah.
In the group. I heard something today, and this is a how far you've fallen kind of thing. Someone said, hey, maybe he can be a good version of Andrew Miller. Remember back when Andrew Miller was kind of a weapon? So have the expectations fallen that far now?
Yes. Seems like the guy can't get through the first inning, and then when he does, he can't get through the third inning. Then when he does that, he can't get through the fifth inning. So yes, I think he has found a spot in the bullpen. He's working himself that way. And let's face it, he was good out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's going to be his ticket down the road, but I still think we need to give a few of those younger guys down in Memphis a shot at his spot if he can't prove that he's going to take it. I mean, it's there for the taking, and he's just throwing it in the dumpster.
Doug, I think of the old Clint Eastwood line, a man's got to know his limitations.
You're exactly right. He's, well, for a month now, he has just struggled. Like Keith said, you just hope he gets to the fourth, and he's not been making it there.
No. And that Kansas City game, Kansas City didn't make it out of the second. Ouch.
Yeah.
All right. So Tom, since you had a bullet in that last round, we'll give you a good one here. Palante. Oh my goodness gracious! If I told you he had 9 wins by the end of June, wow.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a Palante supporter. Even though last year was pretty rough, but even I'm surprised by what he's doing this year. I mean, this is just incredible. He started throwing a knuckle curve, and it's really seemed to have some effect on his game. So you just never know when with these guys these days, they learn the extra pitch, and it changes a lot for them.
It does. Joe Sparlin, you remember a pitcher for the Orioles named Don Stanhouse that Earl Weaver called Full Pack because he said he would sneak down into the runway and smoke a full pack of cigarettes when he was trying to save a game.
Yeah.
Riley O'Brien is kind of right there now.
Kinda. He's there.
He's making things exciting these days.
Oh my gosh. Too exciting.
Yeah.
Too exciting, but some consistency might be nice, but it is what it is. The closers.
Well, he's got 19 saves, which, again, I didn't have Riley O'Brien for 19 saves at the start of the season.
No, nobody did, but he's given the old runway word, and he's making the most of it. And let's face it, he's been, for the most part, effective and given some people an extra dose of blood pressure medication along the way. And I think other than that, I think he's going to be there until he proves he can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
He's that guy on the first batter. You're like, all right, we're going to find out how it's going to go with the first batter.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, he walked him on 5 pitches and 4 of them weren't even really close. Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah.
Well, and his best pitch is the sinker, and it even flashes up sinker, and it's like hitting at the letters.
Yeah.
I'm no baseball expert, Doug, but I don't think sinkers are supposed to come in at the letters.
He's got that sinker, or he's got that one that starts at the bottom of the strike zone and hits home plate. And I think every batter he's pitched to for the last 3 weeks, he's down. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Every batter.
Yeah.
And he's got the sweeper that he can't throw for a strike. It's never a strike.
Yeah.
Sweeps it right out of the strike zone.
Exactly. Fun times at the end of the game.
Wasn't it Jordan Hicks a couple years ago who the first half he had like 18, 20 saves, and he ended up with 18 or 20 saves for the season?
Right.
Riley O'Brien is kind of reminiscent of that.
I remember this is going in the Wayback Machine in 1980, a guy named John Littlefield, or 81, John Littlefield for the Padres. He saved like 2 of their first 3 games, and that was when everyone had their fantasy drafts, and he ended the season with like 2 saves. So, oh well. Back to our buddies around the league. The Athletic did a survey of players, and they said which organizations have bad reputations. No real surprises there. Rockies, Pirates, A's, White Sox. When they said which organizations have good reputations, Dodgers, Yankees, and Cubs. Cubs, by far and away. The Cardinals were not listed in the top 18 for a good reputation. They got 2 votes to get into the top 18, and the Cardinals didn't get 2 votes.
That's not good.
Not good.
Yeah, that you got to make St. Louis another destination place. I heard Army talking about that over the weekend about the Blues. When you're in a rebuilding situation, which veteran wants to come to St. Louis and be the glue that holds everything together? That's a lot of responsibility. And it's not fun for the veteran. But if you're a young guy, hey, why not? I think that's the Cardinals have a little bit of building to do with those young guys, but if they keep winning solves it all.
Yep.
They'll get those guys coming to St. Louis as long as they're winning.
Yep.
Those teams with the good reputations, New York, Los Angeles, Chicago. And that's where the money is. So, that's where these guys want to go.
Yep.
And that's TV, and that's going to be a major player in whether or not we get locked out or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Doug, I think it was a couple of weeks ago. It was just you and me, and I used the line, "You live long enough and you'll see everything." I did see something I hadn't seen, and that was when Rafael Devers legitimately pulled a Roger Dorn and refused to leave the game for a pinch runner that Tony Vitello had sent out for him. I don't know if you've seen the video, but it's pretty priceless of the pinch runner, Devers is waving him back to the dugout, and the pinch runner's like, and then finally the umpire steps in. The umpire points and is like, okay, go.
Did you hear his excuse? Have you heard that?
No.
So he said that he had told Vitello a few days earlier he was having a little problem with his hamstring. So he said that he thought the pinch runner was coming out because they were worried about his hamstring, and he was trying to tell him, "No, I'm good. No, I'm good." So that's what he came up with today. So, but it's the same guy that wouldn't play first base in Boston, and they traded him to San Fran, and now he's playing first base. And but what I like too, when he got to the dugout, did you see him turn? Yeah, he didn't want to even pat him on the back.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
I got a bad hammy. Don't hit me on my hammy.
Fist bumps and high fives. Nope, can't do it.
Nope.
Well, and also when he took off his helmet and held it over his mouth, so you couldn't see the profanity-laced tirade that he was going into as he was going back to the dugout. MLB correspondent at large Joe Sperlin, what is going on around the league?
Well, as we're almost to the halfway mark, things are back to normal with the Dodgers and the Yankees having the best record in their respective leagues. My boy Tariq is up for sale, and we all know who the top two candidates are, the Dodgers and the Yankees.
Yeah.
And all the teams who think they have a shot to win it is going to bid him, but I'm going to say the Dodgers and the Yankees. The Cubs better be finding some money. They got pitchers dropping like flies. Talk about
They
pulling
have all
hammies
year.
and all that other. Yeah. I mean, they're literally going down, just flopping to the ground there. So they're running out of pitchers.
Yeah. And I'm still laughing at Pete Crow Armstrong hitting for the triple and then getting picked off first. I think they said that had never happened in the history of baseball. So once again, you go to the game, you never know that you'll see something that...
Explain that to me. What? I didn't...
He hit for the triple.
Yeah.
And he got the single last.
Oh.
And then he got picked off first.
Okay. Now, was he the one that got out on the walk?
Yes.
Did you see that, Ron?
I missed this. No,
Okay.
I missed this. What happened?
It was a pitch.
Last
I don't
night.
know if it was a full count, but it was ball 4. The guy goes to second. Catcher makes a throw. They tag him. And the umpire stands there for a second. Then all of a sudden he goes, boom, gets him. And they're like, what are you doing? And they end up doing a slow motion as he slid to the base. His hands and everything come off the base because he touched the base. And then his hands come off. And that's when they tagged him. And they said he touched the base, advanced, and then I forgot the technical. I think they said that
abandoned the base.
And they tagged him out.
Yeah. And I mean, technically they were right. I mean,
Oh my.
he took second base with the walk, but then he got off. So it's kind of like a pickoff.
That's outstanding.
Gotta love PCA.
Yeah, he's never boring. You'll give him that. Well, speaking of outstanding, the Blues made a trade yesterday. I said it's a blockbuster, and the social media reaction, I have not seen a single. It's kind of rare, Doug, when you see social media in complete agreement on something. I don't know that I ever have. I haven't seen anyone say this is a bad trade for the Blues. This is Tom, I said biggest Blues trade since, and I put 4 question marks. How far back do you have to go on this?
To me, coming this way, I think O'Reilly coming here was as big. Going the one that come out to me was Oshie, because really he was coming off the Olympics, with the penalty shots, and he was becoming a big guy. And so I think that's the biggest one with the player going from the Blues.
And there were mitigating circumstances that we will not, because we're gentlemen, we won't get into the mitigating circumstances. All I'll say, Joe, is think of the Matthew McConaughey character in A Wolf of Wall Street. So let's see. You now have 4 first-round draft picks, Keith Farrell. What are you going to do with 4 first-round draft picks?
Have some fun. So Armstrong left Alex Steen like a career moment in his first couple months of taking this job. So, they're listening to whatever team. I heard Army talk today that, they now have 48 hours. Every team has 48 hours to assess, what they want to do with these draft picks. Apparently it's a very deep draft. I still think that the Blues will draft at least 1 mid-rounder. I can see them packaging 3, but I think for Steener, he got rid of $8 million in payroll.
I can't believe they took all the salary. God. Tom, were you shocked they took all the salary?
Yes, I was. I mean, I thought the Blues would have to take something, but also Capitals made another big trade today where they took another $10 million. So I guess they had some room.
Go figure.
Well,
they must not expect Ovechkin back.
That's where I was going.
Yeah. So the only person I think that may be upset with this whole deal is Tom Wilson, the agitator for the Washington Capitals. He's going to have his hands full trying to defend Kyrou.
Protect that little.
And I tell you what, I can see a big falling out if Kyrou doesn't pull his weight.
Oh, yeah.
Someone's going to fight for you if you're not pulling your weight.
That's where you'll hear about an incident in practice.
He'll show up with a black eye into the rink one day. And I have a feeling it's going to match up to Tom Wilson's knuckles.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, there's you remember the Kachuk brothers from the Four Nations, the fighting Kachuk brothers. Well, there's Big Walt, their dad, Keith Kachuk, went into the Hall of Fame this week. Much deserved. And there'd always been this pipe dream that one or both of them would end up playing in St. Louis since they grew up here. Well, that didn't happen because Brady got traded to be with his brother in Florida. Gee, Tom, it says that Army tried, but the Blues weren't even one of the 4 teams that he was willing to come to.
No, he was going to Florida, Vegas. Was the other one Carolina?
Yeah.
And Minnesota. I don't understand that one.
At least there's one place there that actually has maybe some hockey history.
Yeah. Yeah. And Vegas didn't have the cap room to take him, so that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, Doug, I thought about what you mentioned about how Brind'Amour looks like he could still be playing. I don't know if you saw it, but they made him go tarps off with the Stanley Cup. And you're right. He looks like he could still be playing.
Yeah, that dude, he practices with them every day. He has to, doesn't he? Holy cow.
I don't think any of them want to be checked by him at this point.
No, my goodness.
So anyway, the Kachuk dream, Joe Sperlin, is not going to happen here in St. Louis. I guess we'll just have to find another set of potential future Hall of Famers.
Yeah, it's
like they grow on trees.
It's not the Finleys from St. Louis. It's not, no. I don't know who it's going to be.
You know what?
No.
Those two do a lot for the city. They're back.
Oh, they do.
Doing stuff.
Yeah.
And so, but I just think the pressure of playing here, being from here and playing here would be so much on those guys. Yeah. So I can't really blame them.
Well, I don't think we have to worry about that now. That's a dream that we can put to bed. And so with that, we have reached the halfway point in this episode of the St. Louis Sportists. It is time to hear from the good folks at First Coast Steel Buildings. After the break, your weekly nuttiness featuring Brendan Sorsby. Does the U.S. have to be perfect to win the World Cup? And Doug will tell us about golf fans behaving badly. All this and more when we come back.
Spring storm and tornado season has arrived. Are you prepared? Why not build a new steel barndominium or outbuilding that will have you ready to weather the storms? Do you want your next home or building to be engineered for the proper wind loads for your area? Then look no further than First Coast Steel Buildings. First Coast Steel offers excellent material value and can help to reduce your insurance costs. And they can help you with your needs right here in the Midwest, where we see tornadoes and flooding, along with infestations of mold, rodents, and termites. Let First Coast Steel design your next building project and keep you and your family safe. Call 912-314-4848 or get inspired and design your own by visiting them online at the number 1stcoaststeel.com. Storms will happen. Prepare yourself with a new First Coast Steel building. Discounts for military and first responders.
And we are back on the St. Louis Sportists podcast, joined by Joe Sperlin, Doug Lansdowne, Tom Mathis, and Keith Farrell. It's a full house, and it's time for Loose Ends. Joe Sperlin, the NFL canceled their supplementary draft. I didn't know they could do that.
Hey, whatever the Godfather Goodell wants to do, he does. And we talked about that. If that dude thought he was waltzing in the NFL, no. You lawyer up all you want. That ain't happening, buddy.
Doug, I would have loved to have been in the room with him when it's like, Brendan, you're not going to believe this. They canceled the draft. They did what?
So he made 9,000 bets, right, when he was in college? Reportedly.
At least.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you can't make any bets, right? Isn't that right?
Right.
So he did 9,000 things wrong, and he thought they were going to draft him. How many people get to do 9,000 things wrong? Then you know it's wrong.
Hey, and bet on your own
I love
team and use multiple accounts under a fraudulent name. I mean, it's a rap sheet that's this long.
Yep.
By the way, 9,000 Things Wrong is in the running for episode title right now, I think, for sure.
So I hope he has his plane ticket to Saskatchewan to play for the Rough Riders up in the CFL.
It's funny that you say that, Tom, because I saw an Apple article said he's down to 3 options, Keith. Are you ready for this? He can play CFL, but they say it's not good for their season's underway right now.
Yeah.
They said that he could go to the UFL, but that would run right into the draft. And then they said, or he could, Joe Sperlin, are you ready for this? He could last chance you it. He could go to community college.
Wow. Well, I guess Kurt Warner's Arena League is off the table too.
Yeah, probably so. Probably so. So, Joe, guess what? His team has hinted at legal action.
Imagine that.
Shocking.
Go figure. So, why do I have a feeling we haven't heard the last of this?
Do you think he's good at betting?
Well, he's got enough experience.
He's got plenty of experience.
Got experience. So,
And the NFL did it right. It was like, okay, it's 3 days before you have to apply for it, and you did not get. I mean, the NFL played it great. You did not give us time to verify all this, and without saying, "Oh hell no, you ain't." No, we're not doing this.
Roger Goodell probably has a team of Ivy League attorneys that he just said you're locked in the conference room until you come up with something, and that's what they came out with.
When the call makes, what's our statement? There it is. Got it. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Hey, Doug, on a scale of 1 to 10, where were you when you heard Dusty May was going to the Dallas Mavericks from national champion Michigan Wolverines?
Which is the most shocked, 1 or 10?
That would be 10.
I was a 10. A 10. I think I put in the chat, and he'll be 30 and 52 next year, and nobody will remember who Dusty May was.
I say when he gets back in 3 years, when he goes back to the NCAA, he should have to pay pay some penalties.
Yeah.
He should have to sit out for 2 years or something.
Keith, there was a Kalshi if he will draft a Michigan player with the 9th pick that the Mavericks have.
Oh, of course he will. But did he put out a reason why? Are there sanctions that are following him anywhere?
There were rumors about improper NIL, Joe Sperlin. Did you see anything about that?
What is improper? Someone described to me what improper NIL is. Oh, because he offered him money? Oh, wait. We offered you a 2-year deal? No, wait. You were going to go to another school, and I said, no, come here. I'm still wondering what the definition of improper NIL is.
Yep.
From what I heard, he was tampering before guys had declared that they were going in the portal. They were reaching out. I shouldn't
I'm
say
still waiting to hear
people.
Improper NIL is like, he's the only one that's done that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, for some reason, this reminds me of a famous Louisiana politician that said, the only way I lose this election is if they find me with a dead woman or a live boy. But at any rate.
Only in Louisiana.
Only in Louisiana. Only in Louisiana. Hey, Tom Mathis, one of our great St. Louis institutions, Arch Madness, is going to be changing it up a little bit. They're going to one of those I'm going to say crazy ass. I don't think I have to check the box on crazy ass. It's in the Bible, Keith says. One of those brackets where the top 2 seeds will now have buys into the semifinal round, and the other teams will have to win on Thursday and Friday to make the semis. The 11th place team will be watching on TV. Is this just makes sense to kind of get your good teams in, or is this kind of taking the spirit out of a typically good tournament?
It is, with the losses of Creighton and Wichita State, Missouri State, the losses that they've gone through. This is bigger than all of that, because now you've taken the number 1 seed losing to the bottom seed. It's not going to happen now. So it's taking the fun out of the tournament, and that's what the tournament is about, is that having that chance to beat the number 1 seed and continuing. What bothered them is Belmont got locked out this year, so they lost their tournament spot. So that's all they really care about.
Yeah, they're fixing something. There's a good farm saying something. Doug, is it the after the horse is already closing the fence after the horse is out or something?
Yep. Yeah, and talk about how far they've gone and where they're at too. I saw the other day that in the Pac-12, the team that's going to challenge Gonzaga will be the Ben Jacobson-led Utah State.
Oh,
So-
my.
That tells you right there how far the valley has fallen.
Well, and to just amplify how far they've fallen, they said that the attendance is half of what it was 20 years ago. But if you think 20 years ago, that was when you had SIU, you had Wichita State, you had Missouri State. I mean, that was a salty tournament 20 years ago. That was good basketball.
They brought fans. I mean,
Right.
Those fan bases were big.
And I mean, we went, and it was hard to get tickets, especially when they closed off that upper bowl for a while. It was pretty packed.
Yeah.
But, hey, the ticket sales are going to be better because they're going to play the women's tournament at the same time.
At the same time.
That's
That
right.
was their other announcement, which is kind of unique. The women's tournament and the men's tournament at the same time. They're not going to play the game. I'm not on the same court, Keith. I can tell that's where you were going.
I thought two
Never
courts
know
going.
these days.
Yeah, sideways.
Yeah, two courts going
gonna be like-
sideways.
It's going to be like a giant AAU tournament. They're going to do it in 2 days.
Right down the middle.
How long is the tournament set to be placed here in St. Louis? Did we know?
It seems like they just signed an extension,
I
because
thought they
there
did.
was because there was speculation they might be on the move. Oh, they're unfurling the flags at
Mexico.
is that Mexico?
I think so.
All right, so that would be South Africa and Korea. Got it. And finally, Joe Sperlin, old friend Brian Kelly found work. Gonna call Mountain West games for CBS.
With part of a 3-man crew. I can't wait to hear who the other 2 are. But the best thing I saw today about this, Ron, is they said they want Brian. I'm going to wait for you to drink, because here's what's going to happen when you hear me say this. that Brian Kelly has to do his voice in whatever location he's in. So if he's in New Mexico, will be a different voice than the one in Northern Illinois.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. I'll have to talk to you.
That he has to speak the dialect of the home team that he's at, and I thought that
He'll have to talk Chicago up there.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, the Liberatore implosion is taking place right now, and it's the 4th inning this week.
That'll give me a reason to stay up till 11 o'clock and watch some Mountain West action. Now that the Pac-12 after dark will be back on, so
Mountain West is not exactly where I had him ending up. But, Joe, you mentioned the World Cup earlier, where the round of 32 is approaching for Team USA. The next game is Thursday night. Their first knockout game is July 1st, and as of this afternoon, there is a 99% chance that Bosnia-Herzegovina will be their matchup. I did find that there's a very slight chance that we could play Iran in round 2, which would be fascinating.
That would be a world news. That might be on Fox News.
On many levels. There was a weather delay at the game in Philadelphia, so the foreign fans got to experience the true American experience.
Sure.
Now, was
A
that
lot of them needed
hydration
water.
delay? Yeah. Did they get plenty of water?
Yeah, a lot of them needed water.
All the hydration breaks. Yes. Yes.
Do you see some games they call it a match break?
Oh, yeah.
A
They
match
changed it. Yeah.
Well, and my wife and I have noticed that the announcers are saying, we'll be right back after this brief break. I'm like, they're all 3 minutes. It's not a brief break, Keith.
No, that's bad for the sport right there. They have to revisit that before the next World Cup.
Yeah, they're calling it quarters. Some of the announcers are just straight up, the Liberatore implosion has happened. It's 5 runs now in the 4th inning.
Yeah.
He led this inning off by walking the first 2 batters, by the way.
Well, there you go.
Moved one to Groover.
There you go. And Tim Howard basically said that the U.S. will have to play 4 perfect games in the knockout round to win. And he basically said, get it out of your mind that the U.S. is going to win the World Cup.
What a dope. This guy, was average at best when he was the soccer goalie for the men's national team. I mean, I don't know what made him the soccer expert on the world stage, but first things first, nobody had huge expectations. You didn't have to go on the world stage and say that, number one. Number two, you're trying to grow the sport in your own country. We got a great thing going. Why be a dope and say something like that? I mean, he just lost all credibility. They should no one should ever put him on the air again. Is that another home run?
Yep. 6-1.
Good Lord.
My gosh.
So yeah, Tim Howard, go sing in the shower someplace.
Yeah. Yeah. That was, it's driving me to drink, here.
Ron,
Literally.
I think I have, once again, not a huge World Cup expert or person that has watched it recently, but this kind of reminds me of bowl games.
How so, Joe?
You have some teams that there's kind of a good matchup, but then you also have the favored team who kind of just goes through the motions and they end up drawing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nicely done.
Yeah. And then, but there's really not some very good matchups. So I'm sitting there thinking, well, maybe it's not like the bowl game. Will this bracket of 32, will that be how interested we will be when the college football playoffs expand to 24? You're going to have some matchups that you're like, hey, that's a good matchup. But really, I'm just waiting to get to the quarterfinals when it's down to the best 8.
Yeah. The Mexican Army is flying a Mexican flag across the stadium in Mexico City, and I just, immediately went to like a Tom Clancy novel there. But anyway. No, Joe, that's a really good point.
You're going to have a first place team playing against possibly as the 32 team that it's going to, it's going to be 5-0. Now, I will say that England, probably one of the funniest things I've seen or heard of the World Cup was them playing someone 0-0 tie, and the announcer said England's record in Massachusetts has not been great.
Oh, we're getting some fun stuff out of
So
it for
anyway.
sure. And then Boston getting overtaken by
Scotland.
it's just Scotland, yeah, and the Scotland people going to Fenway Park and chanting and singing the whole game. And then I don't know if you saw, but the Boston Globe took out a full page ad just thanking the fans, and it said you've made riding the subway fun again, and like brought a spirit to the town we haven't seen.
I think my favorite thing was how many of those foreign, like, I think, wasn't that the one that said they drank them dry? There were several bars said, we're done. We got no more, no mas.
Boston was out of beer. There was another situation in the Northeast, Doug, that was not so uplifting, and that was the U.S. Open for Wyndham Clark. Interesting situation there at Shinnecock.
I don't think anybody thought it'd be like that. I mean, but I mean, it came to everybody's attention because of social media. There's a long history of there being, when Jack was overtaking Arnie back in the 60s. I mean, Jack would be the first one to tell you there was about a year there where, I mean, they called him fatty and everything, And then when Lee Trevino was beating Nicholas, they told him he needed to go back and wash cars or park cars and do that stuff and everything. Right. I have a different take on it. And, on the first or second hole, when those guys, if they would just shut the F up, that'd be fine. But nobody can shut up anymore. But on that first or second hole, when one of those guys was just being belligerent, I wish Scotty would have stepped forward and said, hey, that's enough. Or this guy's doing this, get him out of here.
Phil Mickelson would have done that.
Yeah. I mean,
100%.
I think just Scotty, if he would have, because they were there for him to win, they wanted him to win, I think that would have been big. If he would have done that, I think that would have helped and stuff. So, and Wyndham's done some stuff that people doesn't like, but the only reason that that Wyndham did the things is because of social media. I mean, there's been guys throwing drivers and destroying lockers and doing that for forever. So It was, so Long Island is 0 for 2 in hosting major golf events.
Well, and I actually saw someone say that they, of course it was a hot take, but they're like, they don't deserve to have, I think it's 2033, they've got PGA Championship at Bethpage. Mm-hmm. And it's like, hey, if you're going to be jackasses, maybe we should find a new place for that.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was just so disappointing because he is an American, and that's his second U.S. Open victory, and there's not very many guys walking around that can say they've won 2 of them. But to not even acknowledge his good play, that's pretty poor.
Yeah. Tom, did you see that it was a 4-hour ride on the Long Island Railroad to get to the course, and that's why there was no one there on Saturday? He's playing that big, finishing that big round, and that's why there was no one there, because everyone wanted to get back to New York.
Yeah, they've got to fix the transportation issues if they're going to, try to keep having events out there. I mean, that was horrible that there's nobody out there to watch him finish up. But it probably is best holes of the tournament.
Yeah, and Joe, you were the one that initially, I didn't know this was going on, but Joe, you caught the fact, which hole did he birdie? And like half the crowd was like, yeah.
16, I think.
16, yeah.
He kind of won it. And it was just, there wasn't the huge roar of everybody going, yeah. It was kind of like, oh, man. I believe Doug's right. If Scotty would have stepped up and said, hey, just shut up, cheer or say nothing. That's it.
Yeah.
Here's another thing too, and I don't know if you noticed it or not, but when Wyndham was getting ready to hit that second shot on 18, he was in the rough. There are like 5 or 6 people behind him, and they're inside the ropes because they got credentials on, and every one of them are on their damn phone filming him.
Yeah.
Well, the Augusta says you can't bring your phone, right?
Right. Well, they're inside the ropes. Open your eyes and watch what's going on. I mean, but these people have credentials and they're inside the ropes and they're filming. I'm like, good Lord.
Yep.
That is crazy. So, Keith, this is where we're lucky to have Doug. This is the Doug Explains It All segment.
Oh.
Because something came out today and I'm like, Okay, this just sounds like a convoluted mess, but I know Doug will explain it all tonight. The PGA Board has approved plans to split the tour into a championship series and a challenger series with promotion and relegation stakes. What is going on?
That sounds like a European soccer league, doesn't it?
It does, actually,
It
yes.
does. Yeah. So the guys that win the most and talk the loudest, they want more chances to win more and talk a little louder. They also did away with sponsors exemptions. They did away with lots of stuff. I mean, there's the belief, and here's the part I don't understand, and maybe it works out. There's a belief that, the fans want to come and see a certain group of guys, which is understandable. However, if you're on the challenge tour or whatever, they're already saying, okay, you haven't played good enough right now. The people don't want to see you. Well, now you're going to be playing in Kentucky on a week after they played, in Charlotte. Well, if they weren't showing up in Charlotte to watch those guys, why are they going to go to Kentucky and watch that group? So,
right.
And the purses it's supposed to promote better play and stuff, but I don't see how the have-nots ever get back out of not being a have-not with this deal.
But isn't there already a tour for the guys trying to break in?
The Corn Ferry. That's what I was going to say. We have a Challenger series. It's called the Corn Ferry.
Yeah.
Does Corn Ferry still exist with all this going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's going to be 3 different levels.
Yeah. Now, I could see them eliminating Corn Ferry. They haven't said that yet or done that yet. But I don't know. Like I said, you're going to play in a big marquee event. You hope the crowds come out, but then they're expecting crowds to show up the next week and watch the guys that are not top 120 in the world. I don't see the second level being able to hold up their end of the bargain. So
wow,
doesn't have good purses. No.
Well,
yeah. Well, and the one that I saw that kind of shocked me, late breaking, was they said that Waste Management hadn't figured out. They hadn't been invited into the top tier yet.
Nope.
Really?
Nope.
Yeah.
Not yet.
So
wow.
So sounds like there's a lot of sorting out to do there.
Yeah, there is.
By the way, I'd love to go to the Waste Management.
That would be fun.
Support is true.
The Waste Management's going to be like the guys in Animal House. They're on double secret probation. You take all your beer, and now we're going to shut you down.
I will never look at that the same since I heard that they wanted to cast Jack Webb as the dean of the school, and he read the script and said, "This is the most stupid thing I've ever seen in my life." No. But can you imagine Jack Webb as the dean of? Oh well,
no.
But I digress.
Not as Dean Vermer.
Dean Vernon Wormer. Yes.
Yeah.
So at that, I think, Keith, it's definitely time to say we've reached the last call, brought to you by Black Dog Consulting. With over 38 years in the transportation industry, Dave knows where to look to find those pennies per mile that make the difference between just getting by and profit and growth. From one-truck operations to small fleet owners, he has a proven multi-million-dollar track record to help you retrieve bigger profits. Contact Dave at 417-217-9622 or David at blackdogconsultingllc.net. You can check out his website, which is blackdogconsulting.net. I talked to Dave earlier today, so give him a call. He'll help you out. Joe Sperlin, what do you have for a last call?
Well, I had someone ask me today if I'd made any World Cup wagers, and I just ignored them. But there is a game that possibly a quarterfinal action game in Kansas City Stadium, possibly a possible matchup between Argentina versus Portugal.
Ooh.
Messi versus Ronaldo.
Oh,
Now,
my gosh. Can you imagine what the get-in price?
I love about soccer and most sports is soccer has probably the most one-name guys that you just know. And I was not a soccer fan, but I knew who Pele was back in the 70s and 80s. So, it's still, you got Magic and Wilt and Shaq and all that. But I love soccer, that it's just Messi versus Ronaldo. So that's not far. So the cheap seats right now, $4,500.
Oh, holy cow. And by the way, the Kansas City people are really offended. I think more than anyone that they're calling it Kansas City Stadium and not it's like taking all I can do to just type in it's gonna be gone in 3 years.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's gonna be a parking lot.
Yeah. For a couple years, it's going to be the biggest high school stadium in Kansas City, Kansas area. So
there you go. You can watch Winnetonka and Paseo on a Friday night.
That's right.
It'll be
That's
fantastic. So, by the way, I just Sportus poll. Who here has seen the movie Victory with Pele, Michael Caine, and Sylvester Stallone? Okay, highly recommend. It's a World. They're all World War II allied guys.
I have seen that. Never. Yes, World War II. I've seen that.
They get to play the Nazis, and I'm not going to give. Yeah, I'll give the movie away. Pele does have a bicycle kick in it. How can he not?
Any bicycle kick a
Sly
grenade
Sly had to be the goalie. There's no way he could have been athletic enough to do anything else other than goalie.
Factually correct. He was the goalie, and he wanted to score the winning goal, and they had to basically sit him down and convince him, goalies do not score goals. They said it basically took an intervention of like all of these soccer experts telling him, no, Sylvester, goalies do not score. And
the hell with it. I'll write my own movie where I'm the hero then.
Pretty much.
That's the name of the episode.
There you go. Oh, Douglas, what do you have?
Hey, if you don't have anything to do this weekend, you can go to Buffalo and tour the new football stadium the Bills are going to be playing in. $2.1 billion. And they have the most state-of-the-art snow melting system in the world. So no matter which seat gets snow on it, they can heat it up and melt it. And it's open air, but they've got louvers that they're going to turn to keep the air from swirling in and everything, except like Joe said earlier, unless when the Bills have the ball, the wind's going to be behind them. And then when they don't have the ball, they're going to be the other way. So, yeah.
They're going to manipulate the weather.
They're going to manipulate the weather. Yeah, but so louvers and snow melting system come to Buffalo.
Ricky Horton still talks about the air conditioning in the Metrodome from time to time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just saying. Well, and nothing could go wrong with any of those, Doug. They're all going to work perfectly.
No, those louvers, that'll be perfect. When that wind's blowing like 40 miles an hour. Yeah.
Yeah. There'll be like a place on the bench where no one will stand because they get like stuck in some position.
You see some field personnel just blowing across it. Well, there goes Ralph.
Don't wear puffy clothing. Tom, what do you have?
So the World Cup this year has meant something to me because it's been great seeing all the foreign people visiting and experiencing the United States. We talked about Scotland, their fans drinking all the beer in Boston. Today, the Norwegian fans were at the Nationals game, and the Cubs, or I guess it's the Mets game, and the Cubs hit a home run, and they were dancing in the bleachers. They were doing the rowing in Times Square. I mean, they just took over Times Square. Scotland's fans were marching to the game versus Brazil today in their kilts and bagpipes. And the German fan, Freddie, this dude has seen more of the United States than I ever have. And I'm jealous. And, he's got people taking care of him. J.J. Watt setting him up in hotels and flights and all this stuff. And my biggest question is, how do they afford it? How do they take all this time off to do this stuff? And it can't be cheap. And we talked about what the prices of these World Cup games. So I want to know how they afford it.
I think they saved for 4 years.
Yeah. I was going to say they saved up for 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah. They're flooding it. I mean, that Freddie, he went to Canada the other day. I haven't been to Canada yet. So it's great, but it's pissing me off.
I liked when he was at Tiger Stadium and he says, I've never seen anything like this before in my life.
Yeah.
So welcome to Death Valley, Freddie.
And he learned Ann Arbor. He loved Ann Arbor. So
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. Keith Farrell.
Oh, I got a couple things, and they'll be quick here.
Oh, hey, he's got Tom. He's going to make
a
it a
double.
double.
Maybe a triple. So here's where I'm at with this. Oklahoma won the College World Series, not in exciting fashion, but
Demonstrative
convincing
fashion.
So
Yeah.
congratulations, Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Caitlin Clark getting technicals for clapping her hands. And the only reason I have a vested interest in that,
Betting.
threw a few bets on that.
I knew it.
So speaking of betting, thank you, Japan, for getting those corner kicks for me. And was it the coolest thing to see Messi get a hat trick?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It was the coolest thing watching a living legend do exactly what he was supposed to do.
He is still got it.
Yeah, so much fun. So World Cup has been great for the sport, has been great for the United States, Mexico, and Canada. You have not heard a single bad thing. Everything has been upbeat, positive. Even the flopping has been addressed. You're seeing so much less of it. I mean, when you're hurt, you're bleeding out there on that field.
So, pretty much.
Or you're getting carted off on a stretcher. So it's kind of cool.
We have it on in our house basically nonstop. My wife has broken her foot in 3 places, so she's kind of like Jimmy Stewart in bedroom window right now. She's sitting there with her foot elevated, you know.
How'd she break her foot?
Yeah,
Oh, she fell on coming down from her office, which she's done like 1,000 times before. You know, she just missed the bottom step, and she broke her foot in 3 places. Yeah.
Wow.
So we have the World Cup on nonstop, and you're right, Keith. It's been fantastic. It's great stuff. It's like, we were talking last week about how June's become a good sports month. Man, this is like added onto it even more.
Yeah.
So mine is going to be quick. The NHL is getting ready to be the first North American sports league to go over 32 teams. They are looking at those hockey hotbeds. Are you ready for this? Austin and Houston.
Literally hot beds.
April Sechting will become our Austin NHL correspondent. But yes, that is what the NHL has said. It was allegedly Atlanta was in the fray. Tom, but leagues don't like 3-time losers, right?
Yeah.
I was just going to say they've already been down that road twice, and it failed miserably both times. So
the Flames and the Thrashers, which had one of the worst logos in the history of sports, folks. If you've not seen the Atlanta Thrasher logo, it looks like a second grader would have brought it home, and the best thing he would have said is, "Well, you tried, son." That's. I've never had kids. I'm making that up.
I'd like to know what a thrasher is in the first place.
It's a bird of some sort, I think. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, Austin or Houston? Houston, for as most of you know, is in a subtropical climate, which is ideal for hockey. And Austin is, keep Austin weird. I'm sure there's going to be some interesting fan groups there for that Austin NHL entry.
Boy, what a snub to Canada. There's still some good markets up there.
They really are. Yeah, Saskatoon never got their team.
They never did. But you know what? Winnipeg might be available if they trade Hellebuck here before too long. So they're on thin ice. Pardon the pun.
Good pun.
Hey, what?
Literally.
And by the way, then they would join Atlanta as they would be 2-time, and they would have lost the Jets both times. So they get like double demerits for losing teams with the same name.
That's right.
On that note, we come to the end of the St. Louis Sports Podcast. Joe Sperlin, thank you, sir.
Hey, Tom, I'm going to say this. If On Thin Ice isn't a potential name of the episode, I don't know what is. And Ron, with JK with her foot up, do you tell her she can only get her drinks filled during hydration breaks?
Oh, man, that's good.
Perfect.
That did not come from me. You're on your own.
Minutes.
Hey, you're on my own. You're on your own. If you say Joe said, no, I will deny it. So, hey, good to see everybody. Thanks. Really enjoyed it as always. Keith, glad you're back.
Thanks.
Joe, I did tell our buddy Dave that I'd been waiting on Jamie hand and foot. And I'm like, okay, that's not good. I shouldn't have said that.
No.
Doug Lansdowne, thank you, sir.
Yep. Really nice having everybody back tonight. A lot of fun.
Mr. Mathis?
I'd like to see the video of J.K. falling because I think it was more of a soccer tackle that probably happened to her that it caused the broken foot. So, but great being here. See you guys next week.
Video not available. Keith Farrell.
All right. Good fun, fellas.
Welcome back.
Can't
sir.
wait to
welcome back,
do it
Keith.
again soon.
And we want to thank all of you for joining us on this episode of the St. Louis Sportist Podcast. We'll see you again next week, and until then, take care.
And that wraps another episode of the St. Louis Sportist Podcast. Please like and subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest episodes. You can find these guys on all major podcast platforms. And thanks for listening.